a huge event, and there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of animals spayed and neutered today. And as you can imagine, that takes a ton of volunteers all day, the entire Saturday that we do the event.
Two dogs that we just adopted, and they need to be fixed because it's a girl and a boy. We also have 3 cats that have just kind of wandered up. They're 3 males. There's a lot of cats at my mom's. We're just trying to get them to stop populating more. We do tend to the ones that come up, but we just don't want to tend to anymore. So it's helpful because we can't afford to do it, but it's nice to have somebody that wants to help us out.
And I'm retired, and it helps me. I'm on a kind of fixed income, so it helps me. That's why. And it helps my dog too. I don't have to worry about getting puppies and things that I don't want.
We set up on Friday, we tear down on Sunday, and we need lots of volunteers for that too. Lots of lifting and carrying. The more spays and neuters that are done today, the better.
So as the dogs come to our area, we're just monitoring their vitals, making sure they're coming out of anesthesia well, making sure they're breathing appropriately, and we trim their nails, give them the flea medication. If there's any other recommendations by the vets, maybe antibiotics or things like that, we can administer that. And if they're having any issues coming out of the anesthesia, we can also have the vets administer some medication to help with that. But we're just making sure they come out and they're comfortable and they're loved on, and there's a lot of good people over here helping out, so we do a good job over here.
Well, I really like working with the Empty Shelter Project because they're really organized, and it's nice to be able to do a large number of surgeries and know that you're doing a pretty big part of taking a lot of unwanted animals off the street.
I'm picking up the tools, the surgical tools that they use on the dogs to spay and to neuter them. After they're used, they put it in a blue bucket, and then I come by and I pick up the bucket and I take them back to get sanitized and cleaned and dried and packed, and then they bring the pack back. And it's just a process that keeps going and going since there's so many different animals getting spayed and neutered. It's a continuous process.
I volunteered because I think it's a really great experience. I think that anybody who is a veterinary technician or wants to be one or is in school should always volunteer their time, and because it's so fast-paced that it's a great experience to have, and you meet a lot of great people, and it's for a really good cause. So I believe everybody should do something like this.
So my wife's here at the moment spaying and neutering some of the dogs that are coming through, and I thought I'd come down and volunteer as well. I think it's a great project and something that's super worthwhile.
So the weekend before an event, we will pre-make as many packs as we can, which is about 175 to 200-ish. And then we will wash them and repack them until every animal is out the door and through surgery. And we do about 430 animals. So we'll redo packs all day long, about 300 packs in a day.
Most of these animals come from lower income families where they need, veterinary services that aren't really available or affordable to them. So this means that if we come to them, we can help decrease the pet population in the area by sterilizing these dogs and cats. We can keep them up to date on vaccines so that they're not, we don't have to worry about the spread of rabies in this population. And I just think it's an important thing to do in your community. These guys put so much work into this. All of the people who are coming out to make it possible. It's not, the veterinarians are a very small part of it. We kind of show up and start doing surgery, but it's all the people who are behind the scenes. It's the technicians, it's the volunteers who are making sure that all of the information's correct. It's the people who are getting the data entered in, the people who, clean the instruments. Like every part of it is critical. Not just the veterinarian part by any means.
So first we get a cat from this wall right here. Once we have our cat, we take them into the room. They get weighed, and then they will get their sedation. And once they are sedated, we come back out here to this table, and we have our cat sit here and wait until they are fastly asleep. And then we get into another line, and we wait till we are picked up to go to prep. Once they get to prep, we put in the time, and on here we just put all their information, the technician's initials, the time that they go into prep, like the penicillin, how much they're getting, and then they get their rabies, the FBRCP, and their microchip. Then next, after that, once a surgery table opens up, we go into the surgery table. They start surgery, and then we put in the time that they have surgery, whether it's a spay or a neuter, depending on the sex. If they are pregnant, crypt orchid, and then once that is finished, we go back, and there's a recovery table. That is where they get their flea and tick. They then get their temperature taken to see how they are doing, and then we start the recovery process. We give them medicine to start to wake them back up. We start to love on them, give them warm socks. We start to rub on their back and start to wake them up. Once they are awake, we put them back onto the recovery table. We put all their information back, and then we have other technicians who periodically check on them to make sure that they're still up and moving, and then we start to contact the parents, and they come and pick up the cats. And that's the entire process.
Well, this is Larry. He's our fire department cat. I brought him in today because we are getting him fixed so he can be a friendlier, better mascot for our fire department. He showed up about a month ago, and since then has kind of become one of our family members at the station. So that's why I brought him in.
What happens is each animal has information that travels with it, and it's easier to show you. So we get these packets that come from the floor, and they have information on each dog, or cat, what the dog's name is, the age, the weight, also what medications the animal has received, and then on this side who did the surgery, as well as the rabies, other vaccines, and the microchip. So we take this piece of paper, and I'm going to show you one that I'm already entering, and we use some software called eVet, which is common for animal veterinary practices. We have to look up the animal. We have to go in here and verify the weight, because that's how we know what kind of medications, the amount of medications that the animal gets. And then we enter information regarding the microchip, the rabies, as well as what doctor did the surgery. And then we print a neuter certificate and a rabies certificate for the animal. And we put this, if it's a cat, then the cats are ready to go. If it's a dog, the dogs are still in recovery. They get checked out, it goes back to the dog room. In a nutshell, that's what we do.
This was so helpful. I just moved out, and she's actually our other dog, had 5 puppies, and she is one of them, and we really don't want to have 5 puppies again. So this was extremely helpful for the cost and all of that being free, and if she ever runs away, she's microchipped now. It was just extremely helpful, and I recommend it to everyone.
You can bring the whole family, as long as the kids can be supervised. If you have teenage kids, you can bring them here, and you can have amazing family time together, because there are also plenty of, we have so much work to do, and you can teach your teenagers why it's important, how to do that. Cool. You can learn so much.
But to me, everybody in dog rescue and everybody in the community is sick and tired of seeing the chain dogs, the stray dogs, the dead dogs on the streets, the abused dogs. They should be involved in this. They should be trying to be here to support it, to go out of town, go talk it, try to find another place, block walk. I mean, we both went out block walked with you, and we found so many people willing to spay their dog if we make it available to them. This is the solution. If we ever want to ask the question, what is the solution? The solution is to make events like this, massive spay and neuters all over town, once a week, once a month, and we could actually bring this problem down to a manageable amount. It's not manageable, so